We didn't live together for seven years when we were dating, until we bought our house. We weren't going to be like moving our kids here and moving
It's awesome.
together until we like created a home.
That's awesome. So many parents don't prioritize that. They prioritize, we want to be together, and don't prioritize what is best for the kids. So that's awesome to hear you guys say that.
Yeah. Vic was always a big picture person. He'd be like, okay, even though right now sucks, this is what we are going towards. This is what we are going to have. We just have to get through these little spots to get there.
It's awesome.
All right, guys. Today we have Alyse Martinez. Super excited. She is a mother, a wife, and I'm going to say entrepreneur because that's how I feel about your profession. I think it's a skill set. We'll get into it and we'll talk about that. But not to minimize you down to, you are also married to Vic Martinez, and you are the first non-law enforcement, non-military spouse to talk about the perspective that you have of having your significant other do this job, and then kind of like what you went through, which, again, having talked to Vic, there's a whole lot there, and I'm excited to get into it, but I really appreciate you coming on. It seems to be a lot of spouses do not like talking about it. They don't want to. So I'm really thankful.
Well,
Yes,
thanks for
very
having me.
much so.
I'm excited to tell my side.
Yeah, let's go.
I think that's a
Good,
good
bad,
thing
and the
too,
ugly.
because I think we've struggled with getting wives on that aren't in the business necessarily because they feel like, oh, well, my story is not that big of a deal. And I think it is so incredibly powerful and important to share what's that other side of the coin when that person goes out to do whatever it is that they're doing. What are you feeling? What are you going through? How are
Mhm.
you maintaining and holding down the home front? And then how are you maintaining your career and yourself outside of that? Because that is such a important thing also. So thank you again.
Yeah. No, for
Yeah.
sure. Real quick before we get into it, kind of the purpose behind this is like a lot of command staff and whatever, I don't know, recruiting. And when you graduate, they're like, hey, they're celebrating these individuals that graduated getting law enforcement. And they're like, but couldn't do it without the support system, the family, the wives, the spouses, the kids, they say all these things, but in reality, that's about it. And then you never hear that again.
Yeah.
True.
No,
You never hear it again. You
it's
just keep your
true.
career moving. And you're like, oh, I thought I was part of this whole family. Where did it go?
Yeah.
So anyway, Alyse,
Working
so
on it.
I want to just we kind of do this just like who you are, where you grew up. I still think it's fascinating that you were one of those ones that grew up in the same box, but just because I was a military brat. But could you
Yeah.
touch on that?
So I grew up in Paterson, New Jersey. Vic and I are about 9 years apart in age.
Okay.
So we didn't know each other. We grew up about probably 10 blocks away from each other.
That's so wild.
That's
It's so
funny.
wild. It's a big city, but it feels like a small city
Yeah.
with the stories you tell.
And I grew up, my mom was a single mom, 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
We lived across the street from my grandmother who, raised her family on that same street. Yeah.
That's
And
so cool.
my mom sent us all to private school, even though she couldn't afford it.
Good.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Somehow we have no idea that we were poor, like me and my siblings, like growing up. We like lived this like charmed life, but like we had no idea the struggles my mom went through.
Yes.
Um, she raised pretty independent children, who need her.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. We're very independent, but we all somehow need our mom,
Good.
I mean,
Yeah,
my
that's not
mommy
a bad
now lives
thing.
across the street from me.
It's awesome.
Bro, that is wild to me. But my parents are like scattered all over the U.S. So
Yeah.
it's fuck. My brother lives in Hawaii. So we all
Oh,
just
that's
scattered.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
wild. All right,
wild.
can you walk us through kind of your education, career path? Just kind of lead us up to where you met Vic, up to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I graduated high school.
Mhm.
I went to a county high school because the high school in our town was pretty dangerous. And like that was the safer version of
Yeah,
high school that my mom didn't have to pay for.
there you go.
I'm happy I went there though. It was like such a great experience. I went from like a really small private school to this high school that had like 1,000 kids. And it was kind of mind-boggling because there were 7 kids in my graduating like 8th grade classroom, including my twin
Oh.
sister. So
Whoa.
Wait,
yeah,
you're a twin?
I'm a twin. Yeah.
I always think
Oh,
that's
so we
so
didn't even
cool.
touch on that.
We didn't. So
No, we
let's
didn't.
back up a little bit. I know you said there was
Yeah.
5 of y'all. So there one set of twins, and then where
So
do
we
you
have a
fall
big
in?
sister.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a big sister. She lives in California. She is an interior designer. And then there's me and my twin, and she lives only 15 minutes from me. And she has like little kids now, where my kids are
Aw.
like grown, and she has all of hers are under 6.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
damn.
Yeah,
Respect.
and then I
Respect
have a
it.
little sister who lives in the house we grew up in. Yeah, and then I have a brother who lives in California.
I was
That's what-
just about
that
to
was- that
say
brother
there
was
was
the-
no boys.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
he's a
saying.
baby, and he was
Yeah.
the baby.
Yeah,
He
that
He
brother-
got spoiled.
Yeah.
Brother
Oh,
was your
boy.
dad going, all right, one more shot. Let's do it.
Well, he got so spoiled because 4
Oh.
older sisters. He's getting
And
everything.
then we lived with our grandma, like, you know, because then
Ugh.
our house burnt down, so we moved across the street to my
Oh
grandma's
my
house.
God.
Oh my God. Jesus.
And so it was my grandma, my mom, and his 4 sisters, and like whatever that boy wanted. He wanted to go to
He got it.
Blockbuster. Here we go.
I
Oh,
love
don't
it.
see you making me nostalgic. Don't bring up Blockbuster. I miss that shit. I missed it. That was
I
my
do.
shit.
I
Heck
do.
yeah.
That is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
When's your house burn down? How old were you? How old
I,
were you?
I was actually trying to remember that with my twin the other day, and I think we were like 14.
Yeah, y'all were just doing
wild.
telekinesis. I got you.
Yeah,
got
we
you.
were down the shore, and my great grandmother had dementia. We didn't know that was that at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And she calls my uncle, and she's like looking. She's like, "Hey, Jim, how are you?" And he's like, "What's up, Graham?" You know, they talk for 10 minutes, and she's like, "Did you call me for something?" And she's like, "I think Arlene's house is on fire."
Oh,
And he's like, did
Lead
you
with
call?
that. Yeah, yeah.
Did you call the
let's start
cops?
there.
Did you
No,
call the
I
fire
called you.
department?
I called you.
No. Yeah.
That's
But,
wild.
you know, in the end, it all works out fine because you have family. that
That's
support
still
you.
got to be quite a shakeup at 14, though,
Yeah.
to have that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. That's like a smell I'll never forget. And
Oh yeah. People
yeah,
say that, yeah.
like all your things are gone.
But then you got to move in with grandma, and
Yeah, which was
what was that
awesome.
experience like?
Well, because she lived right across the street. Now it was
Yeah.
just like, now she just slept in the same house
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we were all, it was like at grandma's or at our house. It doesn't
That's
matter.
awesome. How long was that? Did you guys rebuild there, or did it just you guys
So
just
they
decide?
rebuilt. My mom really couldn't afford to do much, so she people helped us from our church, and they rebuilt, and then they sold it, and then my mom bought us each cars at
Oh.
some point with that money.
I like
respect
it.
it, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I respect it.
I
Yeah.
think that that's some of the things nowadays that we're so detached from our families that like when crisis hits, I don't have anywhere to turn. And that's such a beautiful thing to see, like even in crisis, how it could turn out to be something so beautiful.
Yeah. That's definitely something. I don't know if it's because like my mom, her big thing was always making sure her kids were together.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We get in our fights.
Of
and
course
we don't
you
talk
did.
for here, you know, this and that, but
Yeah.
Yeah. We all
I'm
fight,
interested
but-
that I would consider that a bigger family, 5 kids in a city. I'm used to seeing that or hearing about that, like, you know, farmland, you know, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
in a city, that, I mean, I didn't have that. You know, it was just me and
Yeah.
my sister, and then my brother came along a lot later. But, you know, again, like I said, we moved around, and I was 8 years older than my brother. So it was
yeah.
just a different beast. All right. Very cool. Sorry. You're throwing out, oh, my house caught on fire. I had a twin.
And all that
We
contributes,
just
though,
throw
to-
little fire bombs in there.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's important to like cover it because all those things build into who you are. And then later
Mhm.
on, you see how those nuggets created or how you respond to situations based on those early experiences a lot of times.
1,000,000%. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree
Yeah.
with that. I
No.
didn't think of that perspective, but that's, yeah.
Well, a lot of times, like even with talking to your husband Vic, like he's just talking about his life where he works, you know, 22 hours a day and he sleeps 2 hours. He's like, man, I got cancer twice. And afterwards, I was like, well, it's probably because you don't sleep, bro. In my head,
Literally.
back in the
That
day,
can,
your immune
saying.
system is just 0%. But anyway,
Literally.
sorry, just throwing that out there. So
Yes,
what?
right.
So high school, and then what was kind of your career path?
So then I was just kind of working, like, so I graduated high school and then I got pregnant.
Oh, right away.
I was 18. It was
Okay.
probably like a year later. And so I had my daughter, and I was just working like in offices. Like my aunt worked at a doctor's office, and
Yeah.
I kind of, did that kind of scene. And then I met Vic at the doctor's office I worked at.
Really? So like, right? How long?
How old
How
were
old was
you?
your daughter?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, so my daughter was 2 years old when I met Vic.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Damn.
he walked into the office, and I was like, "Who's that man? I'm gonna marry him."
Was he in uniform? Yes or no? I just need to know these things. If you say yes, I'm gonna
No,
laugh. Okay.
he was
All right.
not
All
in
right. All right.
uniform
I was gonna
because
be
he
like,
was
yo, who shows up to the
teaching.
doctor's appointment in
Yeah.
uniform? Come on, bro.
At that time, he was teaching at the academy, and he wasn't even being seen by the doctor. He was coming with his friends, so they were just taking their lunch together. He'd
God
come
damn
to
it.
the office, and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, I was
And
about to bust his balls. He was doing a nice thing.
oh,
That's
that's so
a good
great.
friend, bro. That's a
So
good
he's
friend.
not there for an appointment. He's there with his friend, just sitting in the waiting room.
Yeah,
Do
and
you
then
make
every
the
time
first
he came
move
in,
then?
yeah, he was just like talking to me or whatever, and we would talk, and then like 2 months later, I asked him on a date.
I
There we
love
go.
it. I
Come on.
love it. She's like,
Yeah,
I'm going to marry him, so I'm gonna ask him on a
yeah,
date because he's playing
yeah,
around.
exactly, because he's not gonna ask me.
I just have to ask because Vic's been on the show twice. Was he kind of like, was it a shy thing, or he just wasn't trying to push that? Or I'm always
Yeah,
interested because
like
he's a super like
he always says, that thing like, "Oh, you were out of my league" or whatever. But it was like
so interesting.
he definitely isn't like assertive in that way.
Yeah, that's what that's what I mean. I find that very interesting.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
tag
I am. If
teacher,
I want something, I'm
canine.
just gonna go get it. Yeah.
That's why you
You know,
guys
it's
balance each other. See?
funny. That's very common that, especially with males, they are
Yeah.
very go-getter driven, very type A in their like profession. And then
Yeah.
in their personal life, they're like kittens, like, no, what,
I don't know if I
it's
should
like,
choose. Yeah,
yeah,
not. I don't know.
it's very
People,
funny.
I can only speak from my perspective. People laugh at me all the time because anytime I've met someone, I was like, "Oh my god, I think they're like, bro, I hate you so much." But I was always shocked that I was like, "Oh my, what?" I just thought they were being nice. They're like, "No, god dang it."
No,
He's
she was
into
flirting
you.
with you.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Oblivious, bro. I'm awful with that.
Dude.
Anyway, I just wanted to see that.
Dudes.
All right. So, how old were you when you met Vic?
So I was 21 when I met Vic.
21.
He was 29.
2-year-old.
And so we just like started dating. He had, a son.
Yep.
I had a daughter, and he had a baby on the way with his future ex-wife.
Okay.
All right. This sounds like a cop story that I know.
This
Yeah, I'm
totally.
sure you've heard this before.
I know it's everyone's unique, but it's also like I think I've heard this before.
I've heard this
Yeah.
one before.
Yeah.
So I married my husband and he had kids previously, but and I know, like, kind of stepping into that role, I was much older than you when I stepped into that role, and it's a lot to take on. So here you are, 21, with your own child, meeting this guy that you really are into, who has a kid, and now a kid on the way, and a future ex-wife. So I guess they're going through the divorce. It's not even complete. How is
Yeah.
that first, like, year
On top of
of
that, he works
navigating
20 hours a
that?
day. So yeah, on top of that, he works 20 hours a day.
And he
Yeah,
worked 20 hours.
Crazy
literally.
town.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel like at first it was like, okay, we'll just like see how this goes, see what happens.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how my whole life always was. It was kind of
Mhm.
like, all right, like here we go. So we did it, and then he's going through divorce.
Yeah.
He has. I mean, I think there was an episode they talked about how much money he was making at the time, which
Mhm.
was
Not a
nothing.
lot.
He's paying a mortgage and he's paying rent.
Right.
He's got like no money.
Mhm.
Right.
So it's like not even like we're going on dates, like
Mm-mm.
we're like
He's like-
meeting up at parks, and we're like
He's like, I
coming
brought
to my
ramen
house,
noodles,
like sitting
girl.
on my porch. Yeah.
He,
It was
he
like-
brought he brought the charm. That's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, so no, I am actually interested in this aspect because it's something that a lot of I can speak for the male part. I've heard some females. The male and female aspect of relationships in law enforcement are usually different. Females usually like the male half that are like not interested because you're surrounded by dudes all the time with guns and they're kind of more assertive, or I don't know. It's like an intimidating thing, I guess. I don't know. But males,
Yeah.
it's usually like, bro, I'm broke all the time. I have no money. I work all the fucking time because you need to work overtime in order to make. So you just, when do you have time for an actual relationship? Actually, our good buddy BJ, we talk with him about that a lot. So it's like, how in the hell are you supposed to, one, start a relationship, two, maintain it, and then we're gonna get
Yeah.
into some other stuff here in a minute. But like that concept. But what I guess what was your perspective during that time? if you can remember.
I don't know. I feel like it was weird. Like, I feel like I was in a spot I was 21 years old. I was a baby,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't even know. My twin sister's off in Hoboken, going to bars, partying. I'm
Yeah.
at home, wiping little booties. So, like,
Two
and like
booties, but
catching
yeah, I got
throw
you.
up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
when they're
yeah.
sick and all the
Yeah.
things. But it's like, there was something about, I just knew it was going to work no matter what. And I had to do the hard work to get to
Yeah.
where we wanted to be. Vic
Right.
was always a big picture guy. I feel
Yeah.
like also immediately he kind of knew, like, this is going to be something that I've never had before, like,
Mhm.
Right.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Listen, I'll tell you again, from my perspective, knowing that your house is okay and that you can come home and that's your place of like rest or peace or whatever, like, it's going to be okay. Men are not good at articulating that, but it means everything. And even if they never say it in that way, it is like,
Yeah.
it is the feeling it's almost like taking your vest off after a long day. It feels that good. It's just like, you're like, thank God, that
Yeah.
that's happening. So I do understand what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. And we like always pushed each other, like,
Yeah.
I was sitting there. I didn't know. I didn't have any plans of going to college or anything like that. And he's like, we were probably together 4 to 6 months. He's like, so what do you want to do with your life? And I'm like, well, I don't really know. And he's like, well, I think I know, but I think that you should say it. And I was like,
Did he push you into the
hair school? And I was like, I don't know,
beauty
maybe
school?
hair
Yeah.
school. And he's like, yeah. He's like,
So
go to school, check it out,
can we talk about this we're gonna go pivot
Yeah.
for a second, Mo? Because
Yes.
again, a good friend of mine, Dave Tarbox, he's a barber, and I've talked to a lot of barbers, and their skill sets in life, and I think like hair stuff. Well, besides like construction and stuff, I'm just talking about hair, tattooing, piercing. I'm trying to think. I'm leaving one off, and I can't remember. You can make money anywhere in the world. And
Mhm.
my brother's wife does hair, and her specialty is Asian hair, and she's able to turn it blonde. I don't know. I don't know all the things I'm saying, but
Yeah.
but she makes a killing, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm like, but it's a skill set, right? So that's
Yeah.
why for me, it's like you're an entrepreneur because you got to promote yourself. People got to trust you. Like, it's a whole
Yeah.
business.
It is
Yeah.
a
And
I'll
in the
tell you,
state of, in
with
the state of New
as a
Jersey, you have
girl
to
who
work.
gets her hair done, it's
Yeah.
a big deal. Once you find
Yeah.
her, you will drive 300 miles to go get your hair done because you're not
Yeah, yeah.
switching hairdressers.
Oh
No,
yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
I
not.
got people coming from all over.
So state of New Jersey, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, state of New Jersey, you
Yeah.
have to work for someone. You can't just like
Do it in the house
no.
or something.
Yeah, we're like one of the only states like, you have to pay us all this money, So
Oh yeah. They got to get their money. They got to
New
get their
Jersey's
money.
good like that.
So
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
say you can't have your own, like if you created your own hair salon, you can do that,
You
or
can do that, yes.
Okay.
But you would have to have your license for 3 years, and you would have to like, you can't just like go to someone's house and do their hair.
I
You
see.
can't, we can't. So a lot of places, a lot of other states, you can just go rent a chair, and like the people who
Yeah.
own that place have nothing to do with you. So
Yeah.
you are your own entity. So
Right.
I'm in New Jersey, you have to work for a salon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
That's
'cause
interesting.
That's how
So actually,
my
I
hairdresser.
had a barber. I had a barber in DC that I followed him around, and he ended up bouncing around. He ended up renting a chair at a
Yeah.
beauty salon. So it was always fascinating because it would be his one chair with a bunch of dudes getting
all the
edged
ladies.
up and
Yeah.
stuff, while everybody else is like, it's like a spa thing, and it was always a little. I was like, I know what you're doing here, bro. I'm tracking.
Yeah.
I'm clocking you.
You're
I
on
see what
to
I
it.
see what you're doing, bro.
That's funny.
So how old were you when you did that?
I was 22, I think.
Let me ask you,
trying
do
to
you
think back.
enjoy it?
I do. I love it. I love my job. I love being behind the chair. I love being a part of everybody's life.
Yeah.
Like just seeing everybody's experiences, not only just like their hair and them loving their hair, right? Like I
Yeah.
love just being I love love. I love friends. I love
Yeah.
community. And it really gives me a space to have that.
That's because y'all work long fucking hours.
I used to work a lot longer hours.
Damn. See, that's so cool. So you've gotten to the point now where you're kind of like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm
now
gonna do
I
these.
have
I'm gonna
like
do
a-
these 50 clients, and that's all. I'm good. I'm not. Doing
Yeah, I have like awesome schedule. That
Yeah.
I have a great like work-life balance.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
trying
that-
to. I'm trying to put that out there. That is, to me, that's an entrepreneur because you built a business to the point where you now can pick your own schedule.
Yeah.
Cops can't do that shit.
No,
Never.
they cannot.
Never, ever, not once.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I had again, I can speak for barbers, but he was a Puerto Rican barber down in Tampa. Eddie, shout out, love that guy. But he would 3 months out of the year, he would go travel to like the Bahamas or whatever, wherever he was going.
Yeah.
But he had it set up where he would just basically kind of work his way through, and he
Mhm.
would pop in for a few days, make
That's it.
couple grand, and then like that's paying for the next leg, whatever. And he could just do that.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend who
Fascinating.
moved down to North Carolina, and she comes up every like 6 weeks for like a week, bangs it all out real. She makes just as much money as she
See,
did
That's
when she was
amazing.
here working.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to
Why
touch
didn't
on that because I want to push that out there. Like that is
Yeah.
a fucking skill set, man.
Yeah,
why
but let
didn't
me
you
tell you,
become
it's also
cops?
blood, tears, and sweat, you
Oh
know?
yeah, yeah. Especially when you're first starting, and if you fuck somebody's hair up, and I
Oh
mean,
man. And you
oh my
will, and you
god,
do. And then
yeah, it
you're like,
happens.
oh, what am I doing? I'm not even good at this, you know?
Dyeing their hair blonde, but it comes out orange.
Yeah, and you're like,
Oops.
yes.
Yeah,
My
for,
bad.
for real. Sorry, I like to just tie in on that because it's just such a it's such a cool little side thing. But
Yeah.
anyway, all right. So I'm trying to figure out the best way, Mo, because I want to. There's so much in there because you also had cancer with Vic, but that might be later on in the conversation.
All right.
So let's just talk about. So how long were you dating before you got married?
Oh, well, that was
Okay.
10 years.
Okay. But
10.
you have another. There's 3 children, right?
So, yes, Vic has 2 boys and I have 1 girl.
Okay, got it.
So it was, I'm sorry, in the middle.
That's all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's okay.
so we
I
have
got you.
older son, younger son, both Vic's, and then she was mine in the middle of them too.
Okay. And so you knew he was a cop. Oh yeah, this is where I want to go. This is where I want to go. Because Vic has stated multiple times that it's not that you guys didn't know that he was a cop. He just didn't tell you all the things that he did.
Yes.
What was that like for you?
So like that, because I also knew what was going on in Paterson. Like I wasn't a dummy.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I grew up there. I know there's crime. I know you're in a special team, you know, and this is even all before K9, right?
yeah.
So it definitely was hard. There were times when I knew something big was going on and because it's always on the news, you know. So I'm sitting like trying to see if he's on channel 12 or if he was part of that job, or I text him to try to like bait him to tell me something.
Yeah.
and he's like not. I'm like, hey, how are you? He's like, oh good, just chilling on seance or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Okay. Go ahead, Mom.
So, question for that. I'm a law enforcement officer, as well. So for me, I didn't have to ask as many questions. But as someone who wasn't in the business, did you like not knowing? Did that make you feel better? Or was it my imagination now is running wild because I don't know? And eh, would it have made it better if you would have known more details, maybe?
No, I feel like I rather not know, but when I do know is when my imagination went wild. And I
Oh,
would never be looking for it. It'd be someone text me and be like, "Oh, I saw what was going on. Is Vic on that job right now?" And I'm like, "Oh, what's going on? I don't know."
right.
You know?
But
You know
now,
what? Yeah.
when that nugget
Go
was dropped to you, would you have felt better if you could have called him and been like, "Hey, what's going on?" Or
Yeah, but in that situation I knew I couldn't call him.
Because
right,
he's working. Yeah.
right,
Yeah, cuz he's number 1, if I called him, he's not going to answer.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right? Number 2, I don't want him to be distracted when he needs to be focused.
Yeah.
right.
I think also because I never like needed him, right? We didn't live together
Mhm.
for 7 years
Oh.
when we were dating, you know, until we
Mhm.
bought our house.
Yeah.
We weren't going to be like moving our kids here and moving
That's awesome.
together until we like created a home.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So many
Um,
parents don't prioritize that. They prioritize we want to be together and don't prioritize what is best for the kids. So that's awesome to hear you guys say that.
yeah. Vic was always a big picture person. He'd be like, okay, even though right now sucks, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
this is what we are going towards. You know,
Yeah.
this is what we are going to have. We just
Right.
have to get through these little spots to get there.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were dating 10 years and
Mhm.
we bought this house. And probably a week after we bought this house, he went to K9. We get a dog.
Oh,
So it's like never just like one thing, right?
Yeah.
we buy this house that doesn't fit our family, right? It's
Yeah.
2 bedrooms and we have 3 children.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, no,
wow.
I'm tracking what you're
How
saying.
does that logistically work? Because as the mom, as the
Yeah.
wife, as this is
Mhm.
our realm. So how do you make that work?
So what I did, I put curtains up on the windows and the boys were in the master because there was two of them.
Yeah.
And our daughter was in the spare bedroom, and Vic and I were in like a 3-season room that didn't have insulation for 3
Oh,
years.
I
wow.
bet Vic loved it though, because it's nice and cold. Perfect.
Oh, Vic loved it. I was like, I think we need like a heater.
Well, hold on, I
You're
want to
like,
jump
it's
on. So Alyse, you remind me of my friends because I played football, and they're always like they want to know all the in and out or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know shit, I don't follow it. So here you are, you're like, yo, you're with Vic, he knows the deal, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Your friends must have been like, damn it, come on, I need the inside scoop, I
Yeah,
need the
they're always like,
juice.
you don't know anything, Elise.
you're like, nope.
But also let me just say I'm gonna chime in on that because I always waffled and did my best to balance it, and I screwed up a lot of times. But I would try to just at least put because I got into law enforcement after my kids were already born, so they knew dad prior to law enforcement and then after. And so it's actually interesting that he was already in, so he was establishing his mindset in that. But I changed. I had a personality shift, and then also my schedule, all the other things, whatever. My kids now they're 19 and 17. They'll remember stuff like, yeah, I remember. I don't know if they remember it or not, but my son's like 5 or 6, and he's like, I remember you came home and it was like 3 in the morning, and you were covered in blood, and you had to change your uniform because it was disgusting, and you were trying to be quiet, but we all woke up and you said, it's not mine, it's okay, go back to bed. But he goes, nobody went back to bed for even a second. They're like, what is going on out there? Why is he covered in blood?
Dad just showed
Yeah.
up covered in blood, y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Not
I would
good.
always try to tell the fun stories or it's hard. I'm not going to tell those on this thing because people get mad at me, but what I thought were fun, and their faces would be
Like,
like,
what?
I was like, oh man, I haven't even told you like the really bad ones.
Well, that would be me when we
Yeah.
would go to like, let's say someone was having a party and it was one of the cops and the wives or whatever. And like, cause Vic didn't talk about it with me,
Yeah.
but his friends didn't censor themselves. And I'd be like, what
Yeah.
did you do? Vic, you did that?
Like, bro, you remember when you kicked that
Yeah.
door in and those dudes and you slammed them on the ground and that dude kicked you and you had to, and you're like, what the
And
fuck?
I'm
You didn't
over
tell
here
me?
like, I don't like this.
No, I get you.
Car
What about?
chases, who's jumping over fences and getting
Yeah,
caught.
I love it. Well, let me ask you this, because you were home while Vic was working
Yeah.
and you had the kids. What do the kids think? What were the questions or the thoughts from the kids that you can recall? Let's kind of a broad
Um,
scope.
Honestly, it was just there really wasn't any. I really do. I really feel like they were like, all right, I think we were all proud of him for
Yeah.
being a Paterson police officer.
Yep.
Our family has pride in that.
Fuck
Um,
yeah, as you should.
yeah. And we're surrounded by people that have pride. So I feel like we never really let them think they needed to worry, and that was like something we did our whole relationship with the kids.
Yeah, my kids just told all their friends I killed bad guys.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's fine. Tell them that.
No, we always just say he's just hanging in the car with the dogs.
He's just
That's it.
he's just hanging out.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point though? I mean, because kids grow up, they get around. Even with
Yeah.
us trying to shelter them as much as we can, they talk to their friends. Oh my gosh, your dad's a cop. Has he ever done this? Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time where you had to say like and just reassure them almost a little bit?
There were a few jobs that he had to like leave quick, and basically he just said goodbye and left. That his youngest specifically was very worried. Like, well, he wanted to wait up for him, and I was like, no, we're just gonna go to bed, he's gonna be fine. Even if he would, like, I was getting texts like from my mom or something, I'd be like, oh, he just texted me, he's fine, he's in the office, like,
Mhm.
I see.
because they don't need to worry about that.
No.
Yeah. I
You
hear you.
know, whether they worry or not, the same thing's gonna happen. There's gonna be the same outcome.
Yeah.
Oh, and they knew they knew the difference in uniform if he left in blue or black. So they
Oh.
knew what he was leaving for. If he was just leaving regular job, he's in his blues.
Yeah.
But then if he got called out, it was in his blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, kids know that stuff. Like,
Kids
I
And
know
don't
the
even
that.
know
vest,
that.
there's like, it's scary because it's
It's-
like the vest is 3 times the size.
Yeah.
There are, our accountant, whenever Vic has to go to the accountant, he was always like in one of his outfits. He's like, oh, Vic's filing cabinet, because he's got, he's like, all the things.
Yeah, he's like a samurai. I got it. Yeah, he's got all this
That's
stuff on.
funny.
I
That's
like
funny.
that. Let me. I just popped in my head, so I apologize. But did you guys ever talk about gun safety with the kids? Well, you and the kids, because I remember having to do that with mine. But
Yeah.
everyone deals with it differently.
Yeah, like they knew, I guess, I don't know. Like, I don't think that was never a conversation that I think had to be mine. That
Yeah,
had to be Vic's. Like, I was always like, don't touch guns, you know?
yeah.
I
But
don't, I've never, in my 41 years, have never used a gun. I've never even held one. Vic keeps telling me I have to.
That's so
absolutely, you'll
I
interesting.
know,
love it.
but he
Mom,
hasn't
you'll
brought
love
me,
it.
so it's on
You'll
him.
love it.
But there was one thing, like our kids were never allowed in our bedroom.
Okay.
I mean, the guns are obviously in a safe, but no
Yeah.
matter, like, they weren't even allowed past our door.
Got
Okay.
it.
And they
Okay.
followed that. Even if our door was open, they would like knock on the door and like put their like, hey, like they didn't come in our bedroom.
It's
That's good.
awesome.
See, Mo, this is why it's different.
It is
Because
different.
you carried a gun. See what I mean? It's just different. It's a different
It is.
mindset.
Yeah,
Right? This is
it's
what's
very
interesting.
different. I literally we had the conversation. I was like, "Hey, you think we can take our kid over to our friend's house so that we can let him shoot and see how it feels?" Because on the other hand, I not only was I a deputy, but I also was a firearms instructor. So I
Yeah.
taught how to shoot and like I loved it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to get him exposed. So then that way when he's over at his dumb friend's house, he's like, oh no, I don't need to see your buddy's gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
good.
good.
You're like, my moms are better.
Yes, my moms are
Well,
better.
probably are. Yeah. At least Mo's son has two parents that they go running around doing stalking and learn how to clear the house and like and they don't let them win, so they'll ping them up.
No, no, life don't let you win. I'm not gonna just
No,
let
you
you
get
get
lit
it.
up, bro.
That's it.
No, bop, bop, bop. That's what you
Mom.
get you. Better
Oh
luck
my
next
God, I
time.
love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Oh my God. I love this. All right. So were you with Vic during his first cancer diagnosis? I
Oh,
know you
yeah.
guys had cancer at the same time. So let's talk about that real quick. So you were with him on the
Yes.
first one.
Yeah. So the first ones what year was that? 2019. Yeah. So we were already married. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was going and he has thyroid disorder. They kept saying thyroid disease, this and that. But I kept seeing a very different, like sometimes a personality change. And when I was reading about, because obviously I went behind Vic's back and behind the doctor's back
As
and
you should.
did my own research because I'm a doctor.
Like
That's what
every wife
wives
I've
do.
ever known.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my
We have
gosh,
to.
Vic is
Yeah.
doing this. Oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
how Vic. So then one day I went to I said, I'm coming to the doctors with you. So
Yeah.
Vic's answering all the questions to the doctors, and I'm sitting behind Vic, like, nope, he's lying. He's not telling the doctor the truth. He was at the time
Good
suffering
man.
from depression,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
he wasn't acting like he was suffering from depression, but
Right.
from, behind our bedroom door, he was not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I asked them to do a fine needle biopsy in his neck.
I'm sure he appreciated that. Yep.
Yeah, well, he more appreciated when I was in the room with him getting it, and I was going, "Oh my God, I can see the needle going through your neck, Vic." And he can't say anything because there's a needle in his neck.
He's just going,
Shh, don't talk. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
literally. He's like, "Oh, Alyse."
don't move. You will never
Yeah.
walk
Don't-
again. Oh my God.
Don't
But I
move.
couldn't
This is
stop
crazy.
my commentary. I was just
Yeah.
That needle is humongous, bro.
Oh my
literally, I'm
God.
like, it's like all the way through your neck.
I love it.
Oh
All right.
my God.
Yes.
I
All
would
right.
have
All right.
been like, get her out.
Yeah.
You can't move, Mo. You can't move.
That's
Yeah.
so great. But that is something
So-
I would have done because you're
Yeah.
the wife and you're like, oh my
It was
gosh, you have to know
scary.
this.
And I'm like, hold my hand. That's gotta hurt,
I love it. I am loving this.
So then that comes back and it's positive for cancer.
Is it thyroid
Um,
cancer or
Thyroid cancer.
Okay.
At the time, they thought it was just in one side. And after talking with the surgeon and the doctors, kind of the outcome's the same. You have to take medicine the rest of your life, no matter what, if they take half or a whole. Vic and I decided that it was the best just to take the whole, because
Oof.
what's the point? Like, if he's going to go back in 6 months, if, let's say it comes to the other side, then he's
Mhm.
going to have another surgery. And
Right.
Yeah.
that's just silly. So there ended up being 9 different cancers inside of his thyroid on both sides.
Wow.
I didn't even know that could happen. Okay.
Neither
I'm
did
learning.
we.
Yeah, I'm learning. Here we go.
It's crazy.
All right.
Yeah. But the good with the thyroid, generally speaking, a very high percentage, it is contained to the thyroid. So it
Yeah.
generally never spreads anywhere else.
That's a plus.
So the kids didn't, going back to the kids, they didn't really even get the feel of dad's got cancer, like that
Yeah.
impending, scary, is he going to die? Is he not going to die? Because they didn't even know,
Yeah.
because we kind of like figured it out, had surgery, and boom, he was
So
fine.
he
went to
no
work.
nothing like that?
What was that? No, not for that.
Okay.
No,
Just
there
the
was a
removal of the
chance.
thyroid and move
You
on.
just, yep. Sometimes you have to
Right.
do like radioactive iodine therapy for a few days, but no, he was just done and no more cancer and it's gone.
That's wild.
Yeah, and
Vic
then you
had,
just have to take medicine the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Vic had as many cancers in his thyroid as he had jobs at the time. I got you. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Just keeping
It's probably
track.
from one from each job.
Yeah, exactly. Each one caused a certain one.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know
let
if
me
you've
ask
ever
you.
been inside the Paterson Police Department, but
That's crazy.
Yeah, don't drink the fountain. From
yeah.
the water fountain. Well, so he didn't really have a lot of downtime. Is that what you're saying? He just kind of had the surgery.
Afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was like up and out. I don't even remember how long it was, but I think he was able to stay out for a pretty long time, but he was like, "No, I'm going back to work." Was it even 3 weeks?
Not even shocked.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was like as soon as the doctor said that his scar was like good and not opened anymore, Vic was like back at work.
It's insane.
So that he couldn't get any infections or anything like that.
So is it completely across
Yeah,
or just
so
a small little?
yeah, it's like a small, his is actually, I've seen really bad ones, but his
Yeah.
is, you can barely see his. It's
very
just like a
interesting.
little straight line.
I'm super interested because I had thyroid issues. I've had
Oh,
radioactive
really?
iodine. They had to remove my parathyroid glands, and I have the same little. So I
Oh,
was like, interesting.
so they removed your parathyroids,
Yes,
which is
yes.
harder. That's actually harder than just your thyroid. He
Oh,
still
really?
has his parathyroids.
Oh, they took
Yeah.
2 of mine because you have 4. So they took 2
Yeah,
of
you
mine
have
out,
4.
and
Yeah.
I was up and at him because my husband, he had to make it about him. He got food poisoning the same day, so I had to take care of him
Of
right
course.
after
Why
having
do they do
surgery.
that?
That's what they do, girl. That's what they
That's
do.
coming, Mo. That's coming.
Oh, my bad. I jumped ahead.
No,
Never
that's
mind.
coming. Yeah, that's coming. That's funny. Well, let me ask you this, because Vic has said that he said multiple times that the job and the team was always first. But then he'll throw a nugget out. But he said he rarely, if ever, missed a game. He coached hockey, so it sounds to me like he was able to, at the best of his ability, make it work.
Yeah, so my side of that
Yeah, go
is
ahead.
that I love that he can look at it that way. Like I love that he can look at it that way and not feel like he missed out on things. I mean, when he was there, he was there.
Yeah.
He was
Right.
in it. He was locked in,
Yep.
coaching the boys. He definitely never missed a game for that. And he was always at my daughter's games, whether it be cheerleading or lacrosse or gymnastics, we got it done, and he was there for a lot. But he also missed like weddings and birthday parties and holidays. And, he wasn't there for Christmas. And
Mm-hmm.
so like when I heard, because I was like obviously on the other side of the computer when he was saying those things, and I was like, "Oh, you didn't miss anything."
Oh, that's so
About
funny how you say that,
homecoming
honey.
Oh,
games
really?
yeah,
No, well, listen, it's still better than because even if if I was able to make it and I wasn't cranky or tired and I was locked in, that's a lot of ifs and wases. It may be a handful. And then
yeah.
my family learned to adapt to holidays. We might not celebrate on the day,
Yeah.
but at some point during that week we would.
Well, even
Kinda how-
like Christmas, we had what
Yeah.
did we call it? Divorce family Christmas. We'd say it with our kids, and it's like
Yay!
whatever day Vic was home
Yeah.
and all of the kids didn't have a sport or something. Okay,
It's
surprise,
Christmas.
Santa came.
Oh my God.
And we would make it work. Like we would call cousins and be like, all right, we're going to bring the kids out to eat. Can
Yeah.
you go in the attic and pull all the presents down? And,
That is great.
They're like
Yeah.
Alyse. They're like Alyse. It's December 3rd. Why?
Yeah.
But this is all we got. This is what we got.
At like 3:00 because, Vic's working midnights.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
God.
But again, this is the piece that people, like you said,
Don't
you're
know
on the
that.
other side of the screen saying, okay, those are parts that you didn't miss, but here are some parts that you did,
Yeah.
and that's such a unique perspective,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can
Yeah.
appreciate that he can sit with that, you know,
Yeah.
and his perspective was I
Yeah.
made it and I was there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
there a lot of the time. But there were things, how many weddings I went to without him, you
Yeah.
know?
That's
Thank
rough,
God I have a
man.
twin sister. She was like, "Yes, we're going to another
Going to a
wedding."
wedding.
Yeah, and it was like
Plus
great for
one,
us.
yes.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
so everyone knows twinners.
That is great. But I get, especially like weddings are a big deal for the wives
Yeah.
because it is like a very elaborate date night. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're celebrating, and
Y-
generally speaking, your friends are there, and
Yes.
it's a great time.
And it's
Yeah.
But
love, and you're just like, by the time you leave, you're like, baby, I love you. I'd marry you all over again.
yeah.
Mm.
And then you're like, I'm with my twin. I love you too, honey.
Yeah. Well, if you ever saw me and my twin together, we're like obsessed with each other. So
Love it.
we're each
I
other's
love
like
it.
hype girl. I'm like, girl, you're perfect. She's like, no, you're perfect. I'm
I
like, thank
love
you.
it.
I love it because you're getting away with the self. Girl, you look so good right now.
Yeah.
So do
So
you.
good.
Yeah. Oh, it's all the time, and it's
Uh,
ridiculous. I'm sure both of our husbands hate that.
They married twins. That was their fault. They knew you were a
Yeah,
twin.
that's
No,
on
they
them.
knew exactly what they were getting into.
Matter of fact, yeah, absolutely. See, I just mess with my brother. I just because he's 8 years younger, so I just tell him he's the shorter, less attractive version. He gets so mad.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh my god.
So we get through, Vic goes through his treatment, which is very short term, and then he goes right
Yep.
back to work.
Mhm.
How long after that do you get the diagnosis of cancer?
Yes.
Well, then the big C hits, COVID.
Oh
For
yeah. Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
So it was he had surgery in 2019. It wasn't earlier than that. I thought it was before our wedding. COVID hits. Our kids are home. Vic is now working extra, right?
Right.
I'm not working. 13. Yeah,
Right.
they're shutting everything down, right?
Right.
At least he made it to your wedding, so that's good.
That's a plus.
I've heard stories, by the way. I have heard stories.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So then when did I get to I'm really bad with dates and stuff
That's
like
okay.
that. I really rely on Vic's like mental calendar for that
There you go.
stuff. 2022,
2021.
I got
Good one.
diagnosed.
Yeah, they think you have this.
Yeah, so I pulled a muscle and I couldn't breathe. Like
Oh,
I
Jesus.
pulled a muscle. I had gotten like this tattoo, and
Mhm.
the position I was in made me pull a muscle. So I could not breathe the next day. Like it
Mhm.
was
No.
so painful. Crazy. My sister has like a rare heart disease, and she at 38 got a pacemaker and defibrillator put in.
Oh my
Wait,
god. See,
what?
you're
So
throwing out
now
nuggets.
I'm
You're throwing out
having this
nuggets.
yeah, and she's in like California. So
This is
I'm
your
having this
older
pain.
sister, not your
This
twin.
is my older sister, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm saying I have this pain, blah, blah, blah. So now
Yeah.
she's in a panic. Please just go to the hospital, Alyse. I know you think it's this. Just can we go make sure you're not having cardiac arrest?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Okay. I'm going to go get it checked out, whatever. So I go, and Vic is here. He's playing guitar with his friend. And he's like, oh, I'll come with you. And I was like, dude, it's a pulled muscle. I'm only going to like make Jessica happy.
Yeah.
And it was during COVID. So even if he came, they wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, he's got to sit in the
Okay.
car.
Yeah. So I go and I'm like, what? They're just going to like give me an x-ray, say, yeah, it's pulled muscle. Have a nice day. So I go and it's like hours. And I'm
Oh,
like,
fuck.
what is taking so long? And all of a sudden, like 3 doctors come out.
That's not good.
They're like, so yes, you have a pulled muscle, but
Why did it take 3 of y'all to tell me that?
Yeah.
we think you have something called Langerhans cell histiocytosis.
Oh, Jesus.
English,
And
sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I was like, okay, like I
Say
don't
that
know
with
what
crayons.
this
Yeah.
is. They're like, you have to go to a specialist. They gave me someone to call, and I go to that doctor. Wait, on the way home, I'm like,
Oh my god.
I don't even call Vic, right? I'm just like, because of course, before I drive away, I Google it.
Yeah.
Of course we do.
Because they don't even tell you. They're just like, you have something called Langerhans cell. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm like,
Go see somebody
yeah.
else. Bounce.
And I'm Googling it like, oh my gosh, like you see the word cancer and then you think I'm going to die. It's
Right.
like the only thing. And now I'm in a panic. I come home, he's sleeping in bed and I just sit on the bottom of the bed. And he's
Ugh.
like, what's wrong? And I was like, I was just told I have this crazy thing and I don't even know what to think. And it was the first time I never call out of work. I called out of work the next day and my bosses knew something was up. They were like, Alyse said nothing, like she's just not coming in. And I immediately call this doctor, get an appointment with him, do what I have to do. And so he wasn't a specialist of what I had, which I didn't like really know at the time, because you have to do all your own advocating.
That's
through the
crazy
whole
so,
thing,
yep.
which is insane.
That's
a whole nother topic, but yes,
It's
I understand
crazy.
what you're
Because
saying.
even the fact that the hospital can say, you need this specialist and they are at this hospital, like I had to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
So he puts me on a treatment plan of steroids, which is like a really high dose of prednisone for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And sometimes in a case, it can resolve itself that way. It didn't. And then a year later, I say to this guy, it was 6 months later, I say to this guy, okay, like I found this doctor at Sloan Kettering and it like seems like he's the doctor to go to. And he's like, cool, here's all your stuff. Let me know how it goes.
Oh, okay.
But he even said, he was like, this is something doctors like only read about. He's like, I have never had a case. I talk to other colleagues. None of them have ever had a case.
Now you tell me,
wild.
you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So
No,
he
he was
cancer
Googled the
very
that you
treatment. He
He was
Googled the
very
treatment.
honest from the beginning, but like from
okay.
my research, there's only like 7 doctors across the country that like specialize in this.
Yeah.
So you got an
Yeah.
incredibly rare cancer.
Yeah.
That's
So,
wild.
and like mainly kids get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
wild. Okay.
It's
all right.
very
all
wild.
right.
So like when I ask my now oncologist, I say like, when did I get this? He said, these cells could have been doing weird things when you were 5.
But you didn't. Yeah, you didn't know.
And it just was never active.
Oh.
So wild.
Yeah. So then I get in touch with this oncologist and we formulate a plan. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do 6 months of chemo, 5 days in a row, and then 21 days off, and then 5 days, and then 21 days off, and then 5 days for 6 months. So I do 6 rounds of chemo.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Well, let me just
Oh,
explain.
yeah.
She does a week of chemo, which
Mhm.
if you've ever met anybody, and then she goes to work for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then does a week of chemo and then goes back to work. You see what I'm saying? Shit's wild.
So I
Yeah.
didn't take off of work for
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I took off the weeks I had chemo.
Well, yeah,
Right.
yeah, because you're fucking That's
And
still.
I'm gonna throw some things in there too. So the day, Vic, for a few months before I started, Vic, he had a stomach ache.
Yeah, Vic got jealous. She was getting all the attention. So then
Yeah.
he's like,
So
I
they
think I got
said
cancer.
you have diverticulitis.
Oh,
so
my
the
God.
week before I go at my first round I'm expecting him to be there, right? Like I'm gonna go through the hardest thing in my life, and I need you by my side while I'm getting this toxins put inside of my veins.
Rugged.
Right.
So this was the plan. Vic ends up in the hospital. The doctors say, your diverticulitis flare-up is so out of control, we have to do a colon resection.
What?
So on the day that I start chemotherapy at Sloan Kettering,
Yeah.
Vic is waiting to have surgery in
Oh
the
my
hospital.
God.
So
Nice.
he's not even with me.
Oh,
That's
hold on.
crazy.
Who's watching the kids? Keep in mind, there's kids running around.
I mean,
at
who
this
fucking
point.
knows?
That's the most honest answer. I don't know.
Thank
Somebody
God we
covered
have
it.
That was
canine
the
dogs.
best answer
The
ever.
best. I don't know. I'm dealing with shit.
No, honestly, my mom and my stepdad are clutch. They
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
through the whole process, making sure we were pretty stubborn and making sure we were doing a lot of things, just to not get stuck in a hole. I know that for me personally, if I'm not doing things,
Yeah.
I'm gonna not mentally be okay,
Got it.
So, but like I said, my mom was amazing, and like friends, like the people show you
Yeah.
how they
Yeah,
love
for
you,
real.
you
Yeah, for
know.
real.
So then on the day 5, so then I go, Vic's in the hospital still. He is recovering. He is really not doing well still. And he had 5 days because he hadn't eaten for like 2 weeks.
Jeez.
And he's like so skinny.
Yeah.
And they come back. I'm literally walking into my 5th day of treatment. And mind you, they didn't give me a port. Vic got 4 chemo infusions and they gave him a port. And I got
you didn't?
30 and I did not get a port.
Oh my, why?
Yeah. That's a weird thing. I talked to my mom about that. She's like, what? What
That's
the fuck is
insane.
wrong with
I've
him?
never heard
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a
I'm
reason behind it,
yeah.
but
So I was coming home, the first week it wasn't so bad, but it hurt my bones. Like I'm home, I'm sick. Like I
yeah.
am, my
Yeah.
bones were in pain. And then we get the phone call. I'm walking into my 5th infusion with my girlfriend.
Oh,
And he calls me and he's crying. And I'm thinking like someone died the way he's
Right.
crying. Like I'm thinking now another terrible thing has happened. And he says it was stage 3 colon cancer.
oh
So when they
shit.
did his colon resection, they didn't even know it was cancer because the abscesses were surrounding the cancer and nothing was coming out in his blood work that there was cancer.
Yo,
What?
that's wild.
Yeah.
That's so crazy because we always have been told that like this blood test, that's the end all be all and it'll detect it.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
He even his doctor even brought it back to his colleagues being like, what did I miss?
Yeah.
right.
Well, how did I fuck up? I will say, I just got to throw this in there. And Adam would say, here Alyse is going through chemo and Vic had a tummy ache and he made it all about him.
Yeah. And I was like, really?
That's not
Vic?
my
Well,
story.
girl. Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do. They want to just make it all about them. Okay,
Honey, I don't-
we
Every
see
single
you.
time.
It's like, honey, I don't feel good. Babe, I just had chemotherapy.
just
yeah,
had
but my
chemo.
stomach hurts.
Seriously?
Though. Can you get
Yeah.
some? Can you get some like Tums
That's
or something?
wild.
Yeah, but that's
So,
crazy.
This is first week of you getting your cancer treatment, and now
Yo.
he's getting surgery and finding out that he had colon cancer. Or is
Yeah.
it gone? Did they get it all out?
So they got it all out yet again. So now another
crazy,
instance
bro.
where our kids
Yes, that's what I'm
aren't
saying.
even hit by the real experience because by the time we find out he has cancer, he doesn't have cancer anymore.
Well, they did say he looked like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Though,
Oh.
so there's something going
Oh
on.
man, he was so. I actually looked up that picture recently, and it brought me back.
Wild.
It took me 24 hours to sit back in a good space because I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how bad you looked.
I love you.
He
I forgot how bad you looked.
He
Bro.
was so. He was like a guy who's all
Yeah,
sunken
yeah.
in and gray.
Ugh.
He did
Well,
look
he
like
had
Mr.
cancer.
Burns then. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was
So,
bad.
all right. But on that one, he took time off, but you had 6 months, and I
Yeah.
just want to kind of tie in
And
that
he's off
time.
a whole year now, right?
Yes.
He has unlimited sick time at work, which was the
that's
one great thing about
fascinating.
Patterson. It's very rare. Not a lot of people.
Yeah,
No.
no.
Yeah,
Especially
he
in
didn't have
law
to worry
enforcement.
They
about it.
just would stop paying you or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'd have to get people to donate time. But
To
no,
donate
that is a
time.
good
I have
thing.
a girlfriend who's going through that too.
Yeah.
But
Um,
but again, you guys are still recovering. Vic's recovering. You're going through it.
You're going through it.
You have kids.
Yeah.
And I think Vic said it, and you we talked a little bit beforehand. Bills are still need to get paid,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yep. And
So-
disability wasn't going to do that,
Yeah,
could
that's
we
what I'm
stay
saying.
afloat? Of course, we would figure it out, but
But see, people say figure it out. It's like you had to grind, and you're
yeah,
chemo, radiation. Vic's,
yeah.
weighs 83 pounds, and he can barely put his shoes on.
I have to carry him up the stairs.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby.
Gotcha.
Let's
All 3
go.
kids are lifting him up, but y'all
Yeah.
making it work. Let me just say this, and it's not just to hype you up. The focus and the focus and the dedication you had on making sure your kids were good, while also going through all of that, and the fact that
Yeah.
here we are on the other side, and you got happy, healthy, and
Yeah.
life goes on, kind of a thing, is a testament because a lot of people that shit hits. There's a lot of shit that hits, but it could break them. It could
Yeah.
kind of mess up the nucleus,
Yeah.
so to speak. So you guys were able to keep that together.
Yeah.
Not
And,
just
and
keep it-
ironically, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, not just financially keep it together. A lot of times emotionally, we're
Yeah.
joking
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
whole thing, but emotionally, couples don't they don't turn in. It does become I'm trying to survive, and so I don't have time to take care of you or baby. It's all
Yeah.
these things that you guys just defied odds in this situation where
Yeah.
instead of coming and unraveling, you guys seem to have raveled it seemed to get tighter.
It's very true. For our situation, our kids' main focus through the whole thing was always making sure our kids didn't feel affected by it.
Yeah.
Some would say we're well, they have to feel things like that. No, they feel enough. They knew they're
Mhm.
already going through who's, a sophomore in high school and a
Yeah.
senior in high school, and they got to figure out their lives,
Yeah.
Right.
No, for sure.
Yeah, they knew we were going through it, but I didn't want that to be the basis of their high school career,
Mhm.
well, my mom had cancer while in high school, so that's what we focused on. Nope.
Right.
Because once again, I've never had it. Knock on wood, I
Mhm.
don't want to, but you would be well within your right, both of you, honestly, to just
Yeah.
shrink into yourself and just and I wouldn't sit here and blame you. It would just be
People
like,
would
oh, that
understand.
sucks. So for you to be like, no, fuck that. It is what it is. I got shit to do.
Yeah, we gotta do this.
That's a testament. I mean,
Yeah.
I love hearing. I was excited to talk about that because to
Yeah.
me that
Well,
it is crazy to hear you talk about it. Like, yeah, no, fuck it, and you're doing 5 days straight just pumping that shit, and it
Mm.
fucks people up. And I'm not saying it didn't fuck you
well,
up,
let
but
me tell you. Oh no, it did. Let me
yeah,
tell you, I
yeah, I'm
had
not acting like it's. I'm not
shingles.
belittling it. Yeah.
Yeah, my chemo gave me shingles for 10 weeks.
Oh fuck.
Oh.
I had it from like
Yeah.
the top of like my rib, like the bottom of my rib cage,
Yeah.
all the way down to my belly button, all the way around to my back.
Oh.
I had like the worst case of shingles and it kept reactivating every time I
Yeah.
went
Oh
back into
my
chemo.
gosh.
Let me just say this,
That's
not to make it about me, but
wild.
I understand because you hear like shingles
Shingles.
commercials or whatever, and you're like,
Mhm.
oh, whatever. I woke up one day and I was working. I thought I had accidentally got stabbed in the back, like
Yeah.
I had a laceration, and it was just 4 little dots, and I was like, no, there is some. It was shingles, and I
You
took like
feel the
some med.
pain inside.
Yes, immediately.
It is terrible. It is the
Correct.
worst pain.
Yeah.
That's wild. And you had
Yes.
to then say, yeah, let's do this again.
Yeah, and then I'm like,
Every month.
and going to work as a hairdresser, moving,
Oh.
right? And
Gosh.
my bones hurt, and I was getting thrush in my mouth,
Oh,
like babies get. Yeah,
yes.
because my chemo, one of the side effects was viral infections.
Oh
Oh.
my gosh.
So I
That's
just
not a
kept getting
side
them.
effect, sir.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, really?
Can y'all fix that? Can we fix that
Yeah.
part at
Can
least?
we
Come on,
change
man.
that?
I'm too old for that. I'm
That's
getting
Yeah.
hand, foot, and
crazy.
mouth disease or
So
whatever.
here's me with shingles, right?
Yeah.
Vic, his chemo was making, so if he touched anything that was colder than room temperature, it would feel like he was being electrocuted. It's called cold neuropathy.
Oh my God.
Oh,
So, and then he had hand foot syndrome. So like it was his hands and feet were peeling off of their blister. Oh, and we're like
Ugh.
walking the back like the Walking Dead.
so
It was like,
he,
here
with
we go,
this
we're
one,
gonna walk the dogs. And try-"
even though he,
I'm gonna go walk the
even
dogs.
though they got all the cancer out, he still had to have rounds of chemo to ensure it was
Yeah, so
gone. Okay.
protocol for anyone. Well, because he was coming at treatments with me, Sloan was like, "Oh, let us check you and all your records to make sure they're doing everything right
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you're here anyway."
So,
They ended up doing Sloan because he was with me. They did a test on you to see if there was any microscopic cancer cells left in his body,
oh,
Yo.
and there was not, which we were thankful for.
that's a plus. That's,
That was
Yeah.
another needle
okay.
in his neck, by the way. Just
I have to,
Yeah.
and
You
she's
gotta
going,
see
oh
this
my,
thing.
babe, this is crazy. Again, this is another one of those things where this could literally rip a couple apart because you're looking at just the at the core level of the intimacy. Like you can't even touch each other. You're just like,
Yeah.
no.
Literally.
yeah. No,
Like
that hurts me
that
physically. Yeah.
connective
It's
time
true.
is just so, and it's just incredible. Like my hat's off to you guys to be able to not only, like I said, manage it, not survive it, but it seemed to be that like listening to you guys talk about it, just grow from it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
We did. We grew very close in that time, which like I said, he was off for a whole year.
Yeah.
Where I was like, bro, needs to go back to work. Uh,
You got to do something.
Yo.
yeah.
Well, let me ask you this,
You're
because that.
home all the time.
Yeah, you're always here.
Yeah.
So, but he did say that after that time period, there was a moment. I don't know how soon after, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm going back to work. This is what I'm doing." And it was like, really, bro, you're gonna go back to do that? Like,
Yeah.
how long? What was that time period like? And like, what?
So I feel like we kept having the conversation leading up to him
Yeah.
being like his doctor telling him he could go back to work. Because we were in a really bad political climate when it came to violence towards police officers. So that was very tough to hear and watch all of the time. And now he's going back to work at 98 pounds. And I'm worried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he going to be okay? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And also just even the mental space after a year of not being at work and then battling those battles and kind of really seeing what's important. He had his 25 years in.
Yeah.
There was nothing that he was going to get back from going back.
Yeah.
That's
No, for
right.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
a great
Nothing
statement.
added in the, in the goodbye package.
Yeah.
Right.
And I kind of just looked at him and he's like, I got cleared. And I was like, okay, so you're going to get 2 cancers and then like just be sitting in your car and get shot in the head or something. And
That
I
happened.
flat out said it like that, and
Yeah.
he was like,
Oh,
Damn.
oh, and he says I was crying, but I remember I feel like I wasn't crying, but
Maybe he was crying.
he was probably crying.
Maybe he was crying.
So skinny. Yeah.
He didn't even know he was crying, but he was crying.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that was the first time like it was my choice that he retired.
You gave him a little pushback, like, what are we
Yeah,
doing?
and he like didn't even question me. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna retire. That was it.
So I've talked to Vic and several other people about the retirement, but your perspective, because it's 100 miles an hour, balls to the wall, you're doing all these things, you're important, phones ringing, you're the fucking man. And then it's like,
Yeah.
all right, retiring. They're like, yo, appreciate you. Boop. And then that's it. Phone stops ringing. And now you're with yourself. Well, you're in your family, obviously, but
Yeah.
that aspect of your life is now done.
No. And it was like, all right, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What's next? You're only 47. Like you can't be done because I'm still working. So you bet your ass you're still
You
gonna
gotta
work.
go
You ain't walking
somewhere.
around here.
Doing
You're not gonna do nothing
nothing.
while I'm working.
Yeah.
So he decided, did you decide then that you were gonna finish your bachelor's? Yeah, you weren't working on it yet though when you started Wayne. So then he decided that he was gonna try to be like a cop in the schools, like the
Yep.
security for the schools. And I thought that was gonna be a little light for him, they're babysitting a bunch of teenagers, which
Ugh.
he already
Ugh.
didn't like at home. Not
Nope.
that he didn't like it, right? But it
No,
was
I got what
kind
you're
of
saying.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's gonna be a lot, and they're not even yours. You can't even yell at them, right? You
So
can't
honest,
be like,
I
you're
love it.
stupid, get out of here.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to be
Well,
politically correct. You have to say
listen, Mo's doing that with
reasonable.
fourth graders, so yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, you want to
Yeah,
fight
yeah.
them? They're
Yes.
such
On the
dummies.
playground.
Oh, rage. Yeah. No, I'm tracking. So how long
Yeah.
was it until he found what he's doing now?
So then he did that for 2.5 years.
The school thing?
He did the school thing for 2.5 years because then he decided to go back to school
Yeah.
and get his. Vic and I have different views on college.
Mhm.
We have different views on a few things, I would say, but
That's good.
he wanted to go back, and
Yep.
I was like, go college and do it.
I'm super interested. What is the differing views on college?
I don't. In my personal opinion is like, I don't think it's important. I think they just want your money. Like
Mhm.
the amount of money that these colleges cost, like unless you're going to be a doctor or,
Mhm.
a lawyer, even a lawyer, like I know
Mhm.
people that could probably fight
Yeah,
the
exactly.
justice system. But it's like, it's just a waste of money. Like all these young kids are going and they're spending $200,000, $300,000 on college, and
Mhm.
they're literally coming out and they can't get jobs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, once
So-
again, you have a skill set.
Yeah.
And we did
Yeah.
talk about this, me, Vic, and Adam,
Yeah.
but Mo, we've talked about it. When you get out of law enforcement, you're like, oh man, the government's
Oh, they're gonna
put
love
all
me.
this time and energy and training and years.
Nobody
and I've
cares.
done all this shit, and you're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna
corporate,
apply
private sector,
anywhere
of
and I'm
course
gonna
they're
get a
want me.
job.
They're like, nah,
Nah,
we'll pay you
we're
like
good.
14 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, well, hold on, bro.
Yeah.
And
They
that was
don't
really
care.
hard to watch,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
they
watch
don't
him
care.
go through that transition. Like
Mhm.
even when he was getting the job at Wayne, it was kind of like he was putting in for a few of them, and it was like he's like, I don't think I'm gonna get any of these jobs.
Yeah.
And just to see like my confident like ERT
Yeah.
officer, canine handler,
Your husband's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like I know what
Yeah.
he's doing, and I'm like, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you. Yes.
So I'm on the other side thinking like, how would they not want you?
Right.
Yeah.
I think he just sits in his car and plays with the dogs. But But I
Sometimes.
do know you went to a training a lot of times.
Yeah.
I know you did something. You got some
I would say, I mean,
certificates.
his team, I mean, they trained
Yeah.
7 times a month. Like
Right.
most of their schedule was training.
Which is
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so then he decides, so he finishes his master's and he decides to start his master's. He finished his bachelor's, he decides to do his master's. Now I'm kind of like, this school thing's it's getting old, you know?
Well, I said you need
You're
to
like,
go
yo,
to
I could
work,
teach you how to
not
cut hair, bro.
school.
Like what are
Yeah.
we doing? I'm
Oh,
gonna
that
teach you how
was
to
the
cut
big
hair.
joke. He kept saying, "Oh, I'm gonna come and work at, you know, my salon." And I was like, "No, you are not." Like, no.
He's like, I can do it.
I don't know that he
No,
has
you
the
can't.
right temperament for a salon, but definitely a barbershop.
Yeah, no, I could see him. If he
Fuck
started
yeah.
younger, I could see him doing that.
So funny.
Fuck yeah.
Not an
I
old
know.
man's job.
No, it's not. No, not at all. Not at all.
So, and then so he's starting to apply for these corporate jobs. And I just see like him losing like his confidence because he's getting, you know, he's sending out these applications to these high paying jobs. And it's like, he's like, these have to be rigged. Like, I don't know how I'm not getting this job,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And I'm like,
Yes, I know.
I don't know.
I've been
Yeah.
there, done that, seen that, and I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? I've
But,
done
like,
this.
it makes
I've
no
done
sense.
this. I've done this job for the president of the United States and other world leaders, and they're like,
Cute story, bro.
I
Nah,
Yeah.
we went another direction.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yes,
What
over and over
direction
again.
Go to.
Where
Yeah,
did you
over
go?
and over. Yes. It's wild. I don't have an answer. This isn't an
We all
answer.
feel that
Yeah.
pain.
Yeah, that's and as his wife, like I want him to feel confident and proud and all of these things. And he was just so discouraged. That was really hard for me to watch. Like I was also, you know, I've heard you on the podcast talk about like depression
Mhm.
Yeah.
in the field and all of that. And I've seen him go through different bouts of that through our entire, you know, we're together 20 years. 20 years.
Yeah.
And I was really nervous that this should be like the best time of your life. You're retired, you know, these jobs aren't really that important. Like, but you have to keep moving and doing things. And, you know, cause you can't just sit home and not do anything, but I also want him to have pride in his job like he did at
Yeah.
Paterson, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Cause I will say, like, he was proud. He could have left and made twice as much in a richer town,
Mhm.
and he didn't.
You know what? I like that you said that because that's something that is getting lost in the shuffle. That sense of you are protecting and serving your community, and now for you two, it really was your community. So
Yeah.
that is one aspect. But the idea that you know that you always need to be moving and bouncing around in different agencies, which I'm here to say that's what I did. But I don't have a place where I said I was born and raised here. I don't have that. I'm not making an excuse. But Mo, and you correct me, jump in if you want, but that concept it's not as strong in, I don't know, the dozen or so agencies that I've ever worked with or worked for.
Right.
Really?
I will definitely say
No, they don't think that way.
No, and it's even less now. First of all, I think with just the proximity of us being in Florida is very transient anyways because we have so many people that kind of move down here that you don't have that sense of this is where I grew up and the pride that comes along with it. I did grow up in the area where I patrolled, but not a lot of our officers were like that. Nowadays, it's even less like that because now we're getting people that come in and go, oh yeah, I'm going to be a cop for about 5 or 6 years. Then I think I'm going to go back to being an accountant. Wait, what? Like there is no,
Just
like
wild,
they don't look at this like this is a retirement job. It's just, yeah, I wanted to try it out. It's always something I wanted to do. And I figured I'd try it. And then my 5-year plan is after that, I'm going to take it and go be an accountant. Okay.
I don't want an accountant, you know, protecting my streets.
Yeah.
And that's really what's
I-
happening.
Yeah.
Well, and I can speak for myself. I was like, I got into as a deputy and I was super pumped and excited, but then my brain, I immediately was like, I want to go Fed because I'm like, oh, they're bigger, they're the best or whatever. So anyway, I did all the things I'm sitting here saying. And then you get into the federal system, you're like, these motherfuckers ain't cops, bro. Like, this is not what's going on. Now, I will say ATF, DEA, certain aspects of FBI, they do still do cop work. For the vast majority, though, it is not at all the same.
Yeah.
No, pushing memos around. Anyway,
And that's discouraging too.
Well,
I have
yeah.
to say
which
too,
is why
it's very
you kept moving
you
your
kept
ladder.
wanting to go.
Yeah.
I have to say though, it's very
Yeah.
interesting when you said like as his wife watching him kind of
Yeah.
um whittle down at that point when it's supposed to be the happiest times of his life. And I think we are, for me, being with we've talked about it before, but with the Hope Line and working on the crisis line for law enforcement and first responders, we often get calls from the spouses, from the ones that are watching it happen, because the individual that it's going through, either one doesn't see the severity of it, or two just isn't going to be the one to call. So it's so interesting that, like you said, I'm watching this happen and I'm thinking, oh no, this is the one, even though he might have gotten depressed and had little bouts of things in the past, that this is the one that's like, it felt bigger, it sounded like to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And I think throughout, and if there's something you don't want me to say, you can obviously stop me. But I but throughout his whole career, I feel like there were times where he was going through something that he didn't even know he was going through
Mhm.
because he was so dialed in, like, whether they were doing like a big robot training that week or if there was a big job that they had to go to and then they had to debrief and then what he feels that could have been changed. But I'm like, wait, bro, like you're not okay right now. We need
Right.
to separate it, But it was always work. Work,
Yeah.
work, 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 work. Work was always first. Um, and not that it was his first love, it was just like that came first because that's what's supporting the rest of it,
Yeah.
Got
you
it.
know?
Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
There's not a lot of careers where it's like, no, this is important because if you don't do it right, either I could die or somebody else could die.
exactly.
There's not a lot.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of jobs like that. So
Mhm.
law enforcement is definitely one of them. And yeah, you have like sometimes you get one chance to make a mistake, and that's a wrap.
And
Yeah.
that's it. And I never wanted him to make any of those mistakes, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Um,
for him, because he was leading,
yeah.
I think I've heard this again. It's never happened to me, but the idea that your mistake cost somebody else their life, oh fuck, I don't know. That would be a rough one to swallow. So
Yeah.
I fully understand.
Yeah. So it was like throughout his whole career, there's all of those moments. And then you go into retirement and it was
Yeah.
like, oh, so all those things that were in his head are not in his head anymore because
Yeah.
now he doesn't have a team. He doesn't have
Yeah.
he's so used to having this team, this group text that was constantly going, whether it was 2 o'clock in the morning, because now these guys are on platoon A and platoon B and who's working days and who's working nights, but that text is still going on.
Right.
And that
Yeah.
text was not silenced, right?
Well,
Because he always
something more important.
he always had to hear it.
Right.
So it
Yeah.
was like,
It could be a call out, or it could be somebody just talking about a bathroom incident. So yeah,
yeah, exactly. And I'm
Listen,
like,
That
well,
is
was that
100%
important?
true.
Listen, men hit 13 and then they just learn how to control their immaturity. That's about it. But other
Do
than that, it's
you?
the same.
Do you?
Do they?
We
I don't
try.
know.
That's what I'm saying.
I
It
don't
comes out.
know. I feel like y'all don't try as hard as you think.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
to my point.
exactly.
So
Well, let me
when
do this.
you're,
'Cause-
I just
Oh,
had a
yeah,
quick
just
question
Yep,
on,
and then we'll get to it.
yes. So you're watching him try to get these jobs, and once he did find what he wanted, was there a sense of relief for you?
Yeah, there was, but then also now I'm stressed again because it's now in New York City. And Vic, he went through, he did 9/11 cleanup and he did all the things and now he's going to be going into the city. And number one, he doesn't like to be around people he doesn't know and he's going to be taking a train, right?
Oh.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Mhm.
So, but thus far, it's been pretty good. He started that probably in June. What? Oh, yeah. So now he's in like where he's at now. There's a lot of NYC guys, and he feels like I'm seeing this new camaraderie where they are
Mhm.
being more vulnerable. Like these men who have never met before, they've
Mhm.
just known each other 3 months and they're talking. So I'm seeing like this new kind of chapter for Vic, and I'm really excited for him.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be his end game. I think there's something else in the horizon. Um,
Yeah, I know one of them.
yeah.
What we're doing right now. He just doesn't know it yet. He
The
just
Vic
doesn't know it yet.
Show.
Well, let me say this because we talked to Lee, Detective Lee Whittick, retired. Stromboli, which Mo, you gotta laugh though, because you're like, he's the biggest dude. He's like a Magilla gorilla, and like they had to like throw the tape measure around him. I'm like, damn, bro, how big are you? He's like, oh, I'm 6'2", 250, and I was like, oh, bet. How
Aren't
big
you
are you?
like 6'5" or something?
I'm 6'5", 300. He's like, God damn. I'm like, I mean, you know, it's size
That's why I'm
is
like,
relative.
bro, what are you talking about?
But what I will say, tie into that. Actually, it ties into my next question, and then we got to get to wrapping it up. Respectful of your time. I find myself, because when I was with the Secret Service, I would always end up floating towards people who were cops or military. We would just kind of, I don't know, it was almost like the last two Cheerios in a bowl of cereal. We would just find each other, and like we had that nexus. Is it like that for spouses when you meet? Oh yeah, my husband was a cop. Like, is there camaraderie? I don't know how it works.
So in my own personal experience, yes, I'm very good friends with one of his old teammates' wives. But Vic he tried very hard to keep me away from them.
From the wives or from the
No,
team?
from just even the team, police officers. Like
Actually, I respect that. I get it.
And not that he didn't trust his team, because very much he trusted his team. But he doesn't trust police officers.
Let me just throw that out there. I will bust a door down. I believe that man will take a bullet for me. Nah, Playboy, ain't coming around my wife.
Yeah. So there was a small cruise, where like, like, and he's like, no, but also I don't only think it's because of that. I think the bigger thing goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't know the stories.
Yeah.
Right.
And they openly talked about the stories, and I think he was just trying to protect me from knowing.
So I'm that guy, the friend that openly talks about it, because I'll be around and I'll start being like, bro, you remember when? He goes, bro, stop.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Well, because when
I
I'm
don't
at
tell them
home,
that. I was like,
because I need to stay focused on what I'm doing. We have 3 kids at home. They're all living essentially with us full time. And I had to keep my cool here. And if I knew, I mean, I'm an Italian girl from Paterson. I probably am not going to keep my cool.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It sounds to me, though, that was the balance that you guys created in your homes, and it worked really, really well for you guys. And I would say that maybe it doesn't work for everybody. Maybe that's not the balance, but I think it's really good that it seems very early on that you guys realized what each other needed. He knew that he needed to shield you and kind of keep you in that bubble. And you knew you needed to kind of receive that so that you could be present and focused on the kids. So that's good. And I think that takes a lot of communication at an early point in your relationship to get there.
Yeah. And it also took shift in communication, because how we communicated at 21 and then 30, I'm 30, he's 39, so we had to continuously kind of check back in to see, like, what else do you need that you didn't need 5 years ago in a conversation?
For sure.
And we still do that. And I feel like retirement has even brought us even much closer.
Yeah.
Well, at least
it can
you
be one or
like
two
each
things.
other.
Yeah, we do.
At least you guys like each other.
Vic calls me a stalker because I'm always like, hey, you want to hang out? Hey, babe. What are you doing?
There's a shift in retirement, big time. People don't realize, because besides the fact that the person that changed and that whole like drop off that happens when you leave law enforcement, but then that person's there all the time. And
you're like,
what are you... This is, and especially like for me, when my husband retired, I was like, okay, I have a rhythm in the house as to how I do things.
Yeah.
Now he wants to come in and be like, oh, do you know that your spices are, first of all, get out of my kitchen. That's the first thing.
Seriously. None of your business.
Listen, don't be talking about Papi Chulo Frank like that, bro. Frank is balling.
He is baller. I love him, but he almost got buried in his first year of retirement. I have 5 acres.
Also,
I was like, I'll rent a backhoe.
Trying to help me with that, because I have my flow. Like,
I have my flow. Thank you.
Why are you changing it?
Yeah.
Like Vic would come home and I'd be painting the deck, right?
Right.
Now, Vic would never paint the deck. He would never paint the deck.
Yeah.
But here I am, like, I do those things. And sometimes I find, like, when he's home, I'm like, I can't do my crazy thing right now. Like, I can't go outside and paint the deck because Vic is home.
Because you're here.
Yeah.
Vic, don't you need to go like do something?
Luckily, he has many hobbies, between guitar and golfing and
perfect.
Yeah, he left that out. We're bringing that up tomorrow, Vic, just so he knows.
He
likes to leave these things out. Oh my God. All right, Alyse, I want to
This was
just
awesome. Thank you so
yes.
much.
Anything you want to leave with? Anything?
No, I just think always, being aware of your partner and what they need, especially in the law enforcement. I think it's really important.
This was
Well said.
Mo. This was everything I was hoping it was going to be.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anything from you, Mo?
Thank you, Alyse, for being vulnerable and sharing a lot about y'all's relationship. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Don't go anywhere.
Good luck, guys. I won't.
Thank you.